What's up, everybody? What's going on? We got Crunchy in the house, Piff, Hassan. Hello, everybody. It is good to be here. I'm a little bit under the weather, but Bomb knows how to throw me right out of that and get me above the weather, baby.
Oh, you already know it.
There we go. So, a lot of updates this past week, which I've been catching Bomb up on a couple of them.
That's
but
true.
I don't know how many of you guys saw some of the updates. We got some updates to the gaming side of things, which, by the way, we can now talk about because the article that we had up on our screen on the side was actually the gaming updates that took place. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, I think it was yesterday that was made official. There's an actual article. There was a post on X and all that stuff about the new gaming updates. So we're going to go through that today because they actually added things to the article. I actually have the old article still pulled up, and they've got things that they added to that for the actual article that they put out. So we're going to talk about all that good stuff and a couple of cool things happening there. I mean, if anyone's seen the price of Hello, for those of you who are like, hey, I don't really care about anything happening behind the scenes, I just want to see what the price is doing, you were probably pretty stoked this last week because the price was doing some pretty cool things. Where are we at right now there, Blade Runner? I mean, Bomb over there. What's the...
Let's check it right now.
You stepped outside of Tron for a second and on the stream.
Hey, looking pretty good here. Looking pretty good. We're above 2 still, holding strong. Gotta love that. Huge 13% increase the past 7 days. Gotta love that. But
like that.
yeah, overall, looking pretty solid right now. The month still on the uptrend here for the month. So yeah, I think it's we're in a good spot right here. I like it.
So another thing that was big that was started this last week. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to attend. Busy day with work, but we had the Hello Spaces for the first time. So Hello Spaces is where basically Hello is hopping on and they're talking to other projects like one-on-one. It's a very kind of open format. It's not as much like Killer Whales where they hop on and they're kind of getting grilled pretty quickly. It's a little bit more conversational. So for some of you that might have been able to hop on that, I want to hear how you guys felt that went. And like anyone able to ask questions, like what was that dialogue for you guys like? Would love to hear about that. Piff is saying Blade Runner, exactly. Yep, there you go. We just got to get you one of those like Tron bikes, like
right?
Motorcycles that you got to ride. But otherwise, you're looking good. So before we get into that, I want to talk to you about your journey. I haven't seen very many posts on X lately. Are you still doing that, or is that just you're doing it, you're just not posting it as much?
I have been doing it and not posting it. We're technically down. I don't know how long ago I started, but we're down 5 pounds. It's great, still cruising over here. I've been playing a lot of pickleball for some activity and then going on a run here and there. And then on the bike machine, I got to start doing weights.
Rowers?
Is what I got to do next. No,
Wait,
that was
what are those?
weights. Like weight,
weights.
like resistance training
or
or
like doing the rowers over here.
No, but yeah, got to work on doing some weights next. But other than that, so far so good. Training. I sent a meme to my group chat because we're training for the half marathon, and it's like those who train for a half marathon 3 months away or like 3 weeks away, and they're like trying to put out a fire with like a water bottle, and it's like, yeah, that's never gonna work. So yeah, we are working on it, and it's been good so far. So staying active, staying positive, and took a rest day on Thursday. But yeah, you just got to keep going. So, but other than that, been pretty good.
My camera is acting up over here, so let me see if I can clean it real quick.
Okay.
Get it to focus. Piff saying, what y'all know about Tron? What are we talking? Are we talking classic Tron, or are we talking like new age Tron?
That's a great question. In the meantime, let me get a run of this new. Oh, this looks like it's the same here on this one, but new backdrop.
Well, sometimes you're going to, because it's a random backdrop. So sometimes you will actually get the same backdrop for the same level. Like,
okay,
you'll get the ice backdrop for an Iceland, but then this next time you play it, you might get the grass mixed with lava. You know what I'm talking about? So
Yowzers! I'm terrible at this game,
you
guys.
need to
It's the
get
stress.
So it's the stress. So for you guys that don't know, a couple article updates that we'll just hop through real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The big one, and this is the one that has a lot of chatter surrounding it, is no longer a daily leaderboard. No longer a daily leaderboard for Doge Dash. So for those that don't maybe know, for Dash of the Dead, it was a weekly leaderboard. For Doge Dash, it was a daily leaderboard. But now they're kind of syncing up the both kind of like games there. What I'm curious about, because it said in the article that the end of the weekly leaderboard. So for those of you that might have checked, like today, the leaderboard hasn't ended just yet because it's going to be Monday at 0 1. It's like 0 UTC, I think it is what it is. So set your reminders that that's when the actual leaderboard is going to conclude. It's not going to be Friday. It's not going to be Saturday. It's going to be Monday that concludes at 0 UTC. So make sure you're setting your notifications for that, because I guarantee you there's going to be a lot that's going to, because bigger prize pools, right? There's bigger prize pools than the daily. But I think overall, it's something that you want to be aware of, that so that, you know, an hour to go, 2 hours to go, you're definitely making sure you get on that leaderboard, because we have 100 players so far on the leaderboard. We were getting a lot more people playing because of the higher prize pools. Now we're going weekly, and there's probably going to be a little bit of a dip in the daily players, because obviously the daily rewards aren't there in the same way. But I have to say, I think for anyone that's like moving from the gaming to the investor side, I think anyone on the investor side's happy about that, because the project as a whole, like if you're not a gamer and you're just an investor, it's the best possible thing for the project that it's not a daily leaderboard where the team is just like giving out tokens, right? You want that to be a little bit more stable than that. So set your reminders, 0 UTC on Monday. Another big deal that they did is they updated the backdrops. The backgrounds in the levels are, I mean, you can't really see it from what Bomb is dashing on at the moment, but they are randomized now. So you're going to get different mixtures of the backdrops with the actual levels. So everything's kind of unique and different as you're going through in your gaming, which Bomb hopefully will be able to clear all 10 levels.
Yeah, that's the hope.
We'll see. He's doing pretty well right now. So that's an update there. And the other thing that they did is they updated it so that any NFT you hold, even if it's not a 2x or 3x or 5x booster, it will give you 1.3 times the reward. So anyone that has an average run-of-the-mill Doge Dash NFT is now going to be able to be hit with the multiplier, even though it might not be the same, like it's not like playing with a 2x or a 3x, it's still giving you a little bit more bang for your buck and tightening up the leaderboard at the top, which is good. So
that's actually, that's pretty interesting. So at first I thought, I don't like that. But now that it's a weekly leaderboard, I think it's actually really good that they do have that, because then it still gives you a big gap if you're holding a 3x or whatever. But I think having that little boost is going to create more people to get into the NFTs and more people looking at it now on a weekly basis rather than a daily on a daily basis, though. So I think it's a great move, actually.
100%. No, I couldn't agree more. I think they're doing what they should be doing for sure on the gaming side. So I am excited about that. One of the things that I would make sure you're checking out whenever the team does release something, make sure you're checking out the article, because one of the things that I noticed is on the Twitter post, they didn't have the update about when it would end. So you want to go to the article for like the full news, because there's some little bits in there that you're going to get that you otherwise wouldn't get. So maybe after this level, if you want to pull that up real quick, Bomb, we can make sure we covered
this is really cool, by the way.
Yeah, I like this.
This is cool.
This looks neat.
No way, bro.
You're just got to get better.
We're just got to get better. Let's pull it up real quick. Here we go. That's not it. This is it right here.
Bomb purchase an oxygen run mask. Yeah, you gotta get one of those, Bomb.
I already can't breathe. I already can't breathe when I'm working out. So that's gonna make it even worse if I get one of those. I'm just gonna say that. Mm-hmm.
We got Crunchy saying, yeah, it's weekly now. That is correct. So, I mean, some gamers are probably going to be a little sad because they were just like cleaning up every day. I got to say,
Yeah.
as a gamer myself, I was bringing between like 250 and 300 tokens, oftentimes profit each day,
Yeah.
which was not bad. But I think just as an investor and kind of long-term success on the project, it's what we want to see, right? You got to move in that direction to make sure everything's stable. We got Red. Put your hands up. Oh yeah, that intro was all thanks to Bomb. Just kind of getting in the mood with a little bit of the dances there. So there you go. There you got the NFT 1.3 times score boost.
Yeah, this is
through what each of them does there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, this is. I like this update. Base NFTs now get something, which is a 1.3 boost to your in-game score, and
100%.
you can also buy the boosts as well, which is great. Backdrop randomizer, like we were just showing, that's really cool. Love that. It adds a new element to it, so it's always random. I love that. It makes fantastic. Oh, okay. So the space levels are required to have space backdrops. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Bingo. Weekly leaderboard. Gotta love this. Top 100. Yeah.
Again, 0 UTC, which I just want to plug that in. Let's see, 0 UTC.
We're -8, so.
Yeah, so that's 5 p.m.
on Monday.
UTC. Let's see.
Or Sunday.
Monday.
No, it's got to be on Sunday. So we're 5 p.m. On Sunday.
5 p.m. on Sunday. Okay, that is correct.
Yeah.
All right, good to know. So Sunday is, I mean, they give you the weekend. So be sure if you're like, yeah, you're doing that. And Hassan, yes, that's correct. 1.3 times boost for all NFTs.
Yep.
So now a couple of things. Again, we had the Hello Spaces. We had the ICP event that was done where they had some of the judges showed up. They selected some projects for season 3. What I think would be good to see, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys feel differently about this, like we're starting to get the pieces ready for season 3. I feel like it'd be good to see a trailer for season 2. Right?
Yeah.
Like, would you like to see? I'd like to see that.
I'm just curious where we're at with season 2. I think they should probably give an update because everything's season 3 already, and we haven't heard anything really about season 2. So I think
that the first couple of episodes were done. I think that was
right.
Like a month and a half ago or something like that. But yeah, I think it'd be neat to start to get a little bit of like, hey, season 2, like here's the release date, or season 2, here's a minute-long trailer, and here's when that's coming out. Because for me, just seeing that they're focusing on season 3 already, it kind of indicates that season 2 is going to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe kind of end of this year type thing. I know they were originally looking at Q4 for that, so I think that would be pretty neat. But I don't know. That's
great to see. Is it loud?
I thought it. I mean, for me, maybe, but
I think it might just be for you.
Okay.
But.
Oh yeah, we got the blockchain in Dubai. Are you going to that, Bomb, by the way?
No.
I feel like you need to just crash one of these events.
I should.
Just show up and be there and just like film yourself and like, hey, do you guys have any questions? I should stand up in the middle of, this and just ask.
Yep.
Here, this is kind of cool. Innovation at Token 2048 and why you should be excited.
Yep. Why you should be excited. It's a big party. Opportunities for KOLs. Killer Whales Ambassador Program. Ooh, what is this? Oh, yep. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. So make sure you're checking out the articles, people.
Yeah.
That's basically where you can get a lot of what I can actually do a better job of is I used to like clip specific things from the article and put it on like X. I definitely need to do that more because I feel like unless you read the articles, unless you're like really deep into like checking these things out, some of the time you can miss things like that. The team has definitely done a better job of, like, I know when they released the gaming updates, they had like the thread on X and it showed like the 4 of 4 or 5 of 5 on the post, and they showed each individual one, and then they have the bulk of the information also housed in the article itself. So yeah, Hassan saying it's good if we get a Hello World teaser. Yeah, that's another thing, right? We got
Yeah,
Hello World. We've got, there's a lot of irons in the fire, people. Like rolling
100%.
into the end of this year, we've got, well, let's summarize them here. We got season 2, season 3 already being worked on. We've got the Hello Arcade updates that have happened. We've got Hello Spaces that just were rolled out this week. We've got Hello World, which is coming. Like, I think, is it weird to think like I want to ask you, Bomb, because what do you think about this? I like it when people show the percentage of completion of each.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really, really like that. Like when you get to see like Hello World, 40% out of 100. Killer Whales season 2, 90% out of 100. And like, we got a roadmap, right? Or did we? Is that still something we're
That's
like?
still something that we have yet to actually get, from my knowledge. So I
Okay,
think,
we got the generic, like, hey, these are the things we're doing this year, right? And
right.
it was like, this is what the ecosystem is going to be. So we haven't gotten like the roadmap of like what is happening in what order. Yeah, that'd be really cool to see. So I think if we can get the, I'm just gonna put together a little bit of a list here
That's what I
because
see.
I want to.
That's what I'm doing here.
I like the way you think, Bomb.
I'm trying here. I mean, here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff in the fire, like you're saying right now. I think.
Yeah,
What do we got here? ICP. That stuff started. Did I
look at
say
how
hello
many things just
spaces?
since the first round of updates.
Right.
The first round of gaming updates. Like, there was a big gap of time between the Burns announcement and like
Yes.
the Gaming One announcements, but then look at since the Gaming One announcements, like what,
Boom,
like a month
boom,
and a half ago
boom,
or whatever.
boom. It's just flowing right now. But
Yeah,
see, but here's the thing though. According to Twitter, the chatter, crypto's supposed to be massive these next few months, right? From 10
hmm
for October, November, December. So they're building up right now, I think, in preparation, and then as soon as like October hits, I'm assuming it's gonna like they're just gonna continue to flow. And because I mean we've already seen a great increase already, but like I think it's just gonna expand and continue to get bigger and bigger as we move into this. So I think that's why it is the way it is, because they've had all this information and haven't shared it yet. And now it's like, okay, now we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's time to just like expand and like actually start coming out with all this stuff. Hopefully
I
that's
will say this. I will say this real quick. So I agree with you completely, and I can tell you the team is very aware of the fact that within crypto, August and September are generally not great months.
yeah,
So the team has said that they're aware of the fact that August and September are not great months. So
right.
to your point, Bomb, I think looking at October could likely be a good, like, hey, release October through the end of the year. All I gotta say, guys, is if you have been along for the ride with this project at any stage, now is the stage to be along for the ride. Like, you've
Right.
seen what can happen. Like, I don't care if you're here for just a 2x or a 3x and then you're like, I'm taking my
I'm
funds and
out.
I'm gonna run. Like, good on you. Like, you did something good, and you made your family some money, made yourself some money if that's all you're after. Like, awesome stuff. Go do you. You invested in the project when not a lot of people did, and like you got the rewards because of that. But I have to say, like, where we're at now, if you're just after that 2x or 3x, it's a good time. If you're after that 10x, it's a good time. Like, you're in a good spot right now.
Yep.
That, how many of you guys that experienced the first pump, because a lot of you guys that are here got to experience that first pump that we had the last time where we went all the way up to, yep, there you go, bomb.
There it
showing on the
is,
screen.
right there.
That pump right there. How many of you guys actually got to the top of that mountain and wished you had purchased more back then? I guarantee you that's like everybody. I was kicking myself. I was like, man, I did a decent amount, but like I kind of could have gotten, like, it would have changed things a lot more if I would have done it. Like, yeah, it was good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We
Yep.
told you guys to take profits. Bomb and I took profits. Like, I wanted to be completely transparent about, hey, I think Hello can go up from here, but I'm gonna take some profits, even when it was halfway up that
Hey.
mountain. You know, got a 5x, got a 7x. Make sure you lock in your profits. Otherwise, you know, you're going to be bummed if anything changes, if anything happens, and it's like you didn't take care of yourself and your family, because you need to make sure you're doing that. Okay, so
You know
next
what's
time when this
interesting?
happens, take care, take some profits. That's all I'm saying.
Same thing happened here. We're right here where we were last year. This is where we were 9/21. We're right here at this point. And then within the 3-month period, October, November, December, this is where we went. Right?
And wait, show where we were. So we were higher than we are right now.
Yes.
That, so how much higher?
We
What was
were
the plan?
0.05, so about a 2x from here.
Yeah, about a two and a half.
Just like a 2x, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so we were a 2x from where we're at right now, and where we're at right now, people, whenever you're between like when you're under a $20 million market cap, like, dude, a project like this,
right,
under 20 million. Like,
it's crazy. It really is. I'm so surprised that we're still here. I really am. I don't know why, but I mean, we're just the time bomb's ticking, in my opinion. It really is. And I think these next 3 months, part of me is like, shoot, am I really doing all I can to invest enough in the Hello right now? And that's a big issue that I need to.
Yeah. Okay. Make your own financial decisions. Do your own stuff.
100%.
Like we told you guys early on, like, you guys, I should just post these, all the like posts that I made on X about, like, hey, this is like you want to hop aboard the train now, and then it goes in at 20x's, and then again we said, hey, take some profits, right? Lock in your wins. If you've been along for the ride, even for the past couple of months or even for the past couple of years, make sure you take profits, because even if you just take out your initial investment plus like a 2x from that, you lock in that, hey, this project, this was something that would, I'm excited about, so that you kind of remove your heart from the equation and you're operating on both your head and your heart a little bit more, right? It's not all just like, oh, it's either to the moon or bust. Like, you've actually already locked in something for your head there. You can feel good about the fact that you actually made a good decision, and then you can let your heart dream a little bit about, like, what's beyond that. But then you're not so married to, hey, if this doesn't go up in this time frame, like, I gotta sell it all, because then, like, you're operating wholly on your heart and you're not allowing your head to make wise decisions there. But anyway, I would just say,
yeah.
go for it, Bob.
I was just going to say, it's crazy that the highest point is literally only 125 million market cap. That's insane.
I know.
That's
we were
insane.
At a 300 million market cap with Doge Dash alone in the last bull market.
Right.
So the thing is, you're never going to time something exactly. Like, you're
100%.
never going to time something perfectly. So make sure you take profits all throughout. Just like you should, any investor would ever tell someone, you don't just try to find the very bottom of the market and dump everything in. You do what's called dollar cost averaging, right? Every week, every month, you have an automatic amount that's pulled out and it's put into something. Do the same thing when it goes up with taking profits. Again, this is not some like Moon Boy fantasy. Otherwise, I would say, hey, wait until it hits $20 and then start to sell stuff out. But I can tell you, I want to be transparent. Like, that's not what I'm going to do. Okay. As it goes up again, we're investing here, because as it 5x, 10x's, 20x's, all that stuff, we're able to make sure we're changing our family trees. So that's something that I want for you guys as well. Let's get to comments really quickly. We got Dread saying, I think Hello Fall Guys like game would be amazing. I gotta agree
Honestly,
with you. I feel like there's
100%.
so much. There's.
100%. That'd
We
be
were talking. Was
amazing.
that last week we were talking about that, or 2 weeks ago, where we were talking about like not like
Oh
multiplayer
yeah.
games,
Yep.
like building out that side of things. If you could actually create something, even if it was single player games that were linked together, where like you could hop into like a gaming lobby, you could watch someone else's gameplay, and then you could compete against their score. Something like that that was a little bit more interactive, I think would truly like
I
take
mean,
over in a lot of ways.
here's
That's really hard to do.
here's my thought. How important is it to have the hello world related to the hello token?
How
Like,
important? On
no,
a scale of 10, probably like for anyone that's here, I would say probably 10 out of 10. I can count all the projects that I looked at over the past 3 or 4 years that they had a great idea, but it was not connected to the token in a meaningful way. They had an idea to solve a problem,
mhm.
and they either did not connect it to the token, or they changed the problem and they said we're going to solve a different problem, but it was a problem that no one really cared about.
Yeah.
So I think when you've got something like Hello has, it's a great idea. People are like, we need to connect that to the token. And
Right.
until they like, that's what everyone that has been along for the ride knows they can do. And they're just waiting for that connection for it to completely pump. And I'm not talking about a
Here's
powered by Hello kind of
yeah.
experience where people are like kind of inserting that as like the little thing that like no one's really saying other than the Hello team, that it's like powered by Hello, or like we're there too, guys. Like
But
I'm talking
yeah,
about something where it's the currency of the ecosystem.
I guess what I'm trying to say is for Fall Guys, for a game like that in Hello World, my
Sure.
thought is have a free option for multiplayer where it's like you can play for free, you can practice, you can train, you can show your friends whatever it is, and then have a
Hmm.
ranked or a hey, this is what the hello token, like you need to spend 5, 10 credits to play against other people to if you see you want to win, right? Because I think we're missing in multiplayer, we need that because you can't just say, "Oh, hey, come on in and like spend 10 tokens and hopefully you learn how to play the game," but then you're playing against veterans or gamers who it's like, "Okay, well I'm going to lose like every time. What's the point of playing?" But if there's a free option, again, Fall Guys would be sick. I think that'd be it's in my opinion pretty easy to make, and you could actually have it where it's like you're racing with your dog, your Doge Dash dog. You can upgrade it, whatever. I don't know how they want to do that or put new things on it, but you would know who is playing by the dog that they're playing with. You know what I mean? And then you'd be able to actually compete against them and see how that would be neat. But
Here
I
you go.
they need a
I'm going to
free
throw you an
aspect.
idea. I'm going to
Yeah.
throw you an idea. Multiplayer Dash of the Dead. What if it was multiplayer Dash of the Dead with boosters? Like
How
there's
would
like
you do that
Mario
though? Like the
Party
fun
games,
run,
right?
the one I was the fun run thing.
Sure, but like you got boosters and things like that in the game, and you got everyone puts in 10 tokens, right? The pot is 30
Sure.
tokens for the winner. 5 tokens gets burned, 5 goes to the team, right?
Hmm.
And you're competing. It's just kind of like a fun little like tournament style. It's random. You don't know who you're gonna get, right? But you can compete against like 2 or 3 other people.
Yeah.
Like I think there's loads of things that's going to make it more difficult, obviously, but like
Yeah.
I think they need to try to step into this communal multiplayer aspect and lean a little heavier into that,
Yeah.
because otherwise what you're going to have happen is very quickly, and you're going to see this happen if that multiplayer aspect isn't leaned into hard enough, is Doge Dash is going to probably drop in its gameplay by a factor of 6. You're going to have that divided by 6 because it's now weekly. So you're going to have people that are going to probably tune in 1 or 2 days a week to win the rewards. Like I'd love to be shocked on that and to
Yeah.
be like, wow, like people are playing throughout the week. But I've already seen the past 3 I think it's 2 days since they did it, and the people that locked in the score from 2 days ago haven't touched their scores yet.
Yeah.
They're waiting, or they're like, hey, I'm fine to finish where I'm at right now,
Yeah.
or just wait until the game. So
It'll
I
be
think
interesting.
that's a big thing that I think the team really looking at that, and how the Hello token can truly be the currency that people interact with one another a little bit on a bigger level about. The other thing we haven't talked about is the Hello merch shop.
Mm.
Like, we
Yep.
got cool merch. Like, I'd love that for everyone to have like the opportunity to get merch.
Yeah.
Put that on there. Like, what that we can. It doesn't have to be like, hey, we got our currency exchanges set up, and like you could buy in US dollars and euros and all this stuff. Like, just have it purchasable in Hello. Is there might be some legal issues there, I don't know, but
Right.
I think that'd be pretty cool there. We got Chip in the house. What's up, Chip? It's good to have you here. Piff saying, Finn, I had to step away the entire franchise, but if you got time, type, oh, this is Tron 2.0 and go to 20 plus long HD. Appreciate that, Piff. Hassan saying they will add the Burnometer for the gaming arcade. I think it is already integrated in with the arcade.
I think so.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's just there's not enough gameplay or transactions to really impact things in a pretty big way with that. We had Mocha Media asking, how do you guys feel about the lesser known competitor? Yeah, so Bomb just had that pulled up on his stream there about like, and again, this was a I would say there were certain competitors. There were like, I think it was like 3.
Yeah.
2 or 3 right around the time that Hello's first season launched. I will say there were competitors that, like, again, you want everyone to be successful. There's plenty of market share for everyone. I think Hello did a better job with the release than some of these other competitors. I think they could have done a much better job. I think it was kind of like I don't know if you've heard this analogy, but Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, they used to be like big competitors in the like fitness space, but then fitness and action movie space. Have you ever heard that happened like back when they were making like Rocky, all like Rambo, like all these like all these like action movies and all that stuff. But they were competing, so they were competing against one another. They're now great friends today, but back then they were competing for like movie roles and all that stuff. So they were trying to like, edge each other out. Well, there's a story of I think it's I can't remember who it was. It was either Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger, but one of them, they got this movie role that it was an awful script, and they just totally didn't want the script. But they knew that if they made it sound like they were absolutely wanting to go for the movie, that the other person would try to get that script. They would stop at nothing to get it so that they got it over the other person. You should look it up. I forget who it was, if it was Arnold or Sly that was doing that. But the other person landed the script, and the movie was a total dud. And it was just like them stepping into that forced the other people to like go for it super fast and like jump into it without really knowing what it was. I feel like it was kind of a similar situation with Hello and their competitors, where they're like, they announced, hey, we've got this Killer Whales thing that's going to come out. And then it was like, hey, we've got to do this first. And there were people from these projects that were at the event that Hello showcased this.
Yeah.
And they're like, you just know they hopped on the phone and were like, hey, we got to put it out.
This is a great idea.
Yeah, this is great. We got to put it out sooner. And so they rushed the project and they rushed the product, and the product was not ready. Have you seen those things of like when people are like season 1 and it shows the horse like really well drawn out, and then it shows season 2 where they just like rush it and it's like a stick figure horse? I feel like that happened to a lot of their competitors.
Yeah.
Where they didn't rush it and they were like, hey, even if we don't get first to the occasion here, we want the product to be good.
Go ahead. Finish.
Go ahead. Anyway, that's just my thought on it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the lesser known, like, right? In my opinion, if you are a trader and you're just like, hey, I want a quick, like, hey, let's get some some X's in the business or take a little bit more of a risk. I think that's definitely something that people decided to do, and that's great for them. When I look at it, I'm not like constantly checking the price as much, and like yeah, if you look at it, it had a great uptick right away, but then people are like, "Oh, this quality isn't like you just kind of see it kind of taper off." And that's like where I think Hello is more like, "No, this is like a quality project. It's not going to go just like, hey, let's have this idea and then go for it." Like we're on season 3 already. Like we're already prepping for that. So, when I think longevity and long term, that's why I plan on like I think Hello is more something that's going to stay around. People know the name more. It's getting out. It's going to different places. I don't think this specific project yet had its time. I don't know that it's going to continuously still be something that, again, I haven't really totally looked into it, but that's just my initial thought on it. But
Yeah, and I would
yeah,
say like again for the like Bomb's saying for the risk reward, there's going to be loads of projects like that or competitors that are going to try to tap into the same space. And kudos to you. Like I'm going to be honest, there are some competitors where like because you're so entrenched in Hello and what Hello's doing, you see a competitor pop up and you go, I'll throw a little bit
yeah,
over here, and then
100%.
and when it goes up like 2 or 3x, you go, okay, I'm gonna take it out, and that's I'm not gonna tell you that I didn't make that decision, and I'm not happy I did. So
Right.
like that's definitely something that I think people are going to do and you should do. But I think like to Bomb's point, I viewed that more as a trading option than I did like I figured, hey, as people are gonna see this, this is going to get like if it's a $1 or $2 million market cap right now, it's probably got the legs to get to 8, 9, 10
Right.
million. So definitely I viewed those kinds of things as a trading option with Hello. I view Hello more as like if they do what they're capable of doing, it's going to reshape the top 100 cryptos.
Right.
Like they will bust into the top 100 easily if they do a fraction of what they're capable of doing, but really integrate the token in with the project. Because right now, again, burn meter aside, the gaming set aside, other than those two things, the token has really been a spectator to the project. It's been kind of like a marketing project that's like high like marketing and like kind of like people always say like, oh, it's a meme project. It's not really a meme, but I get that it's kind
Yeah.
of that category of like the token doesn't really do a whole lot for the project, but like you can buy the show or you can just wait until you watch it for free over here. So I think what's cool is that the token is going to take more of a focal point because
Mhm.
we talked about this in previous streams. When we had that gigantic uptick, what didn't keep us buoyed there when we had people start to take profits and sell off and then push us to the next spot above that is truly token utility. There were
Yeah.
two things that dropped it. One was, again, token utility, and I think we kind of left our community in the dust.
The
And we
forecast.
cannot do
Yeah.
that.
That's
We
the biggest
cannot
thing.
do that.
No,
Yeah. So
but with that,
and again, they're seeking to do that better for season
right.
two, and that's something that like with the Hello Spaces, they're already getting past that. Like, hey, let's get the community involved. Let's get them asking questions, creating that dialogue, and they're creating further token utility. I'm excited to see where the token utility truly wraps into season two because that's going to be, I think, the test for through the lens of Killer Whales, through the lens of Hello World, how high can this project truly go is going to be tied up in the value of what it is you're buying, right?
Yeah.
If it's not valuable, if it's only as valuable as like, oh, the marketing or the hype we create, we're going to see that same thing where it goes crazy high like it did last time, but then it's going to taper off unless that value is going to hold it past that initial sell off and then propel it even higher.
I think
So,
the oh, yeah, sorry, you cut off
good.
there. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that not sorry, this is not even close to the biggest thing. I don't know why I said that. That has nothing to do with it. I think community aspect too. We are a lot of people are still stuck on the Doge Dash days or like back in time before, and it's like, yo, that was like 4 years ago. Like, y'all need to get past that. It was a different crypto market. It was a completely different thing. When I see people in Telegram and they're like, oh, yeah, but I wish like the Doge Dash days came back. Like, that was when it was really pumping. And it's like, bro, That was a completely different time in crypto. Completely different.
Hold on. So you're gonna hate me for this,
Here we go.
but I don't look upon people that say that as disparagingly because in some ways I agree with the backdrop of what they're saying. Because think about it. Back in the
Sure.
Doge Dash days, hold on.
Sure.
Back in the Doge Dash days, it was a very concise, clear mission.
Right.
It was, we're just
100%.
going to create a cool crypto game that people are going to want to play,
Yes.
and you're going to be able to earn a lot of Doge Dash coins
Right.
by playing this game, and that's going to be that,
Mhm.
right? And that had its huge run in the bull
I get
market
what
because
you're
it was
saying
like,
with that. I get what you're saying.
and here's the thing: there was token utility directly linked to the mission, right?
Yes.
So everything kind of tied into its own thing in a useful and meaningful way. I think when people are saying that, they say, I want to return to the way the community knew when they were buying this token, here's what it did. The way the community knew when the team was going to into a certain quarter, they knew what was going to be released in that quarter. I want to go back to, like, I think that's what the community that says, like, back in the Doge Dash days, they're not saying they want to just have Doge Dash and that's it. They're just saying,
See,
I miss the communication. I miss the, like,
I don't
want
think
to
they're saying
return
that
to
though.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't see them saying that. When I see them saying that, they're being like, "Oh, the price isn't where it is." Like that's what I see it as. I don't think people are like, yes, I love that idea and I love that thought and I totally agree with you that that's how it should be. But when I see those in the chat, I'm like, "Bro, dude, like what are you saying?" Like, yeah, that's a different market.
Hold on. I agree with you there.
Okay,
But
so
I
we
will
both
say,
agree technically.
no, we don't. No, because I would say that the price typically follows the momentum of the people in the community's thoughts about the future of the project.
Let me ask you this, Finn. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. What do you think the team should be doing differently right now as we head into October? October.
Okay, opportunities for improvement is what you're. We should have like this own show segment where it has like its own like opportunities for improvement, and then it, like zips off, and we're like ready to go.
We'll
think
work on that.
so. I think that it would be great. I think the team is making good strides in the right direction for sure. I think that having the communication revamped in the way that they're doing, I think they're doing better jobs in the Telegram and updates for October. I think again, some of the things we're still a little shy on are where is season 2 at for Killer Whales? Where is Hello World at? Like, I don't think we should go without a proper roadmap. I don't think we should go a couple of months without hearing anything about where these things are at. Like, I think it should be if not a weekly update, it should probably be every 2 weeks, and it should probably be at least once a month, where people can just know what the status is of these things. Like, if you're running a, like, let's equate it. They say all the time, right? Like, this is a true crypto company. If you're running a company, you can't really get away from, like, if you don't know when a product is coming out or a project is coming out, you don't really have the luxury of going a couple of months without, like, briefing people if, like, the price isn't doing well or, like, the project isn't doing well or revenue's down or whatever. So I think it would be good if going into October, I think a roadmap truly needs to come out. Like, hey, here's what we plan on doing in Q4. If it changes, that's fine. But here's what we plan on doing in Q4. This is what we'd like to release. Don't have to say the order, but, like, here's what our intention is for Q4. I think getting updates about Hello World, Killer Whales Season 2, like you have on your screen right there, would be great. Because, again, we saw the trailer for Hello World when? Was that like 4 months ago?
That was a long time ago. It
was a while ago, right?
Yeah.
Let's see when was that article. So we got this.
It's a while ago.
I don't know if we got it. There's no date on that.
It was a long time
But I
ago.
mean, if you guys want to search on, you guys should be able to search on, like, Telegram or Twitter if you want to just type in, like, hey, like, Hello World, and it should pull up in the search bar if you want to do that top right there, Bum.
You could
be
Twitter?
endlessly scrolling. Yeah, you would have to do it under, like, if you click. Can you hear me?
There he
Hello?
is. What's up, Finn? Welcome back.
I'm back. Am I back?
Yes, you
Hey,
are.
you
There you
can't
go.
see my face, but no one needs. Oh, wait, I'm back.
You're
Never
back.
mind.
You're back.
You can see my face. I don't know what happened, but I'm here now, and
We're
I can get to comments because we got some comments that have rolled in.
perfect.
All right, Hassan saying hello just needs big listing. That's another thing.
That's so
Everyone, like, I
true.
think there's a pretty consistent commitment from the community. Like, hey, we don't care if we have to pay for this a little bit, and like the price maybe tanks a little bit because the exchanges decide to sell it, or like that. I remember that was the reason that they said initially was like the exchanges could just turn around and do whatever they wanted with the, like, basically pay to play.
Yeah.
I think people are looking at that like the pros outweigh the cons. Like, it's gonna bring more than we would give up by people being able to buy it in more
But
places.
like Hassan's saying, I think the listings might already be made. Like they might be ready, and they're just waiting on the timing for it.
I thought that too initially. But
Yeah.
when we went up to, like Hassan's saying here, last time we touched 300.
That's a good point.
Like, when we were up at like 200, or we were in like the top 200 projects in crypto or something like that. It was something crazy. Like, what would have been another good thing to like buoy us further, right? Would have been a listing or something like that. So I think add that to the list because I think that's a great point there. They're Bomb and Hassan. I like that. Yeah, I think Hassan's saying I think the listings are ready. They're just timing it. Personally, I think there's a couple of things before season 2. I think merch needs to come out before season 2. I think big missed opportunity in season 1, which is great for anyone that's around right now because it means that you can get merch before season 2, hopefully, and the price will probably, do well as a result of that. But we got merch. I think we need some trailers. I think we need a listing before season 2 comes out. All those things. And again, we don't need these things. But I think if we're talking about like not just the initial uptick, but like giving momentum beyond that, when was the last time we had a listing?
Yeah.
Right? These are like that would be a good thing to have added there. And we're going to all these events. We're getting like all these judges. We're speakers at all these functions. I think there's a huge opportunity to get more listings as a result of all that stuff. We got BDE here saying, hello, Finn and Bomb. What do you think filming killer whales in front of a live studio audience and the audience can vote? That's actually very simple. We said something like that, right? Like the audience, it was live time. You had like an hour to vote as the show was happening. Couldn't agree more, BDE. Like, that needs to happen. The integration of the audience and the token holders. It shouldn't just be the projects. It should be the judges as well. We need to be able to vote on the judges. Because if we're not able to vote on the judges' opinion is limited specifically to the projects they're reviewing. But what I love about Shark Tank, when they were doing all the Shark Tank things, like, the judges wanted to make their own brand name for themselves. But beyond that, they were also investing their own money in the projects. So there was skin in the game. There was no skin in the game for season 1, which, again, there probably shouldn't have been because we just wanted to make sure it was a good project. It was above board. The lawyers signed off on it, all that good stuff. And it was. It was great. But, like, how can we build on that for season 2? Audience interactivity, tokens having value for not just the projects, but the judges and the show as a whole. I think having that live audience component or being able to vote in live time is a great idea.
Yeah.
You had something you were going to say, Bomb?
I wouldn't go for a live studio audience. I would go for a live audience as in, like Finn's saying, the show comes out at 7 p.m. You have until 9 p.m. to vote on your favorite judge and your favorite project. And that helps influence maybe who comes back next season or who's going to get an update later on in a few months or something like that. But having that interaction from community I think is important, but it's hard because the numbers probably aren't massive right now, which is like it
doesn't matter. That's the thing. Every vote is huge, and you're going to get that. You always get that talking point, right?
Which then which you could release on the spaces. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This is so when you watch reality like TV shows, right? My wife and I, we watch this show. You guys are gonna eat me alive.
Here we go. You
We
probably
watch this
shouldn't say
show.
it.
I don't know if I should. We
I
watch
mean,
Love is Blind. Okay, it's a
wow.
fun show. Okay, to watch together. And like what we like to do when we watch the show is predict the couples that are going to actually work out and those that aren't. Right? Like basically the premise of the show, you don't meet the person like face to face. You talk behind like a blind wall, and you have
Yep.
like your dates there until you decide whether or not you want to marry someone behind a wall, basically.
Right.
And so the premise, and we like to talk about, hey, like who do we think was going to make it? I think it's the same kind of thing for the judges, right? Where you're like, oh, I really like this judge because of this, and then people are gonna go, no, like that was dumb. The judge said this, and even though the project was like saying this, like you really like that about it. The judges themselves are going to get into the banter because they're not going to want to have the lowest score.
Right.
Now, if you have the highest rated judges get XYZ, or they're the killer whale of season 1, they win the king whale or the queen whale or whatever for that season, I think that's where you're going to get that extra layer of competition there. Okay, we got JMR. What's up, JMR? It's good to have you here. Hey, it's Action Saturday with Finstar and Bomb Diggity. Let's go. Good to have you here, JMR. I saw your comments. I appreciated your comment under that our last stream. Love that. We got CH in the house. What's up, CH? Saying, why doesn't CoinMarketCap push Hello since they are co-producer? Huge opportunity lost without them backing with proper marketing. So they did a pretty good job, closer to season 1's release than I actually expected. Because they had like the little tab for killer whales and all that jazz. What I think you're referring to, and I agree with this, is they pushed killer whales, not Hello. And this is therein resides the problem that Bomb and I are talking about, where like you gotta have that utility, even if it's just voting capabilities. It's got to be integrated in with the show in a more meaningful way. Because if you don't have that, you're always going to be subject to the wait, hold on, guys, it's powered by Hello. It's powered. Don't forget Hello. Like it's powered by Hello, and people are like, "What? Hi, Hello."
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying? Like, what is this Hello? Like, I just see killer whales. I just see the killer whales judges. That's all they're talking about. Like, there's no. We shouldn't push Hello unless there's a reason to push Hello. And currently, in relation to killer whales, there's not much of a reason to push Hello. There's no more of a reason to push Hello than there is to push CoinMarketCap. Right? Like, CoinMarketCap has co-produced the show. So it's like, why would, like, we need that reason for the Hello token to be integrated in. Now, again, all of these things, I fully believe they're going to be updated for season 2.
I love that. I think that'd be sick.
That's going to be updated.
That would be gnarly.
There, but just putting that in there.
Here's what I was going to say real quick too on the whole CoinMarketCap thing. It doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense for them to really be doing anything right now anyways, because it's like, what marketing would we be doing until we actually get like a season 2 date and time ready to go? Like, it just, to me, it doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, we've got them as a partner, but don't push Hello or anything else right now, because it's not the time for it, because it just doesn't make sense. So that's what I would say on why I'm kind of okay that they're not doing anything as of right now, because they're not, again, same with the community, like Finn was saying, we don't know what we can push or like what we can do, because there's no like roadmap or timeline in front of us, and it's like, I think that should be kind of maybe thought of there. But
it's very hard to get people excited about what you don't know is coming.
Right. And I know they don't want to have hype or whatever, but there's an aspect of not having necessarily hype, but having like, oh, this is like what's to come. Like, you can still get excited about certain things without having it be like, I don't know how to word it necessarily, but like,
no. Well, the funny thing is, you're actually, you're dead.
Oh, that's a new. That was a variation.
No, I knew the second you fell down there, because you're not going to be able to get out here.
Yeah.
So there is always people, when they refer to hype, I feel like it gets a negative connotation, because hype typically resembles having a quick pump and then having a quick dump shortly
Right.
thereafter, right?
Yep.
And that's what hype is generally shrouded in, that unfortunate reality is that, like, yeah, if you go up quickly, you're going to fall just as quickly because
Right.
it's not predicated on anything other than hype. There's no substance behind it.
Yep.
But when you're investing in something, you don't need to call it hype. You can call it future prospects,
Sure.
right? Like, you're betting that the future is going to be better. Wow,
Pretty
that
amazing,
was
huh?
gross. That was pretty
Yeah, it
amazing.
was.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're betting that the future is going to be better than the present is now. Otherwise, why are you investing in something? An
Right.
investment is saying this is going to get better at some point in the future than it is right now. And my value is going to go up as a result. So
Yep.
if you don't have that, like, roadmap of, like, what is happening, when is it coming out, what is the purpose behind the token in the future, that value becomes very gray at best. And I feel like that's the thing that would be helpful for the community to see, is more solidified value that's going to be ascribed to the token.
Which again, if it happens for season 2, that's sweet and that's awesome and I'm excited for it, right? But
Yes.
I think
So
that's
hold on,
the
I've got a question for you, because this is what the community is going to start to ask. If that happens for season 2 in the ways that we're talking about, where we're going to be super excited if the token gets integrated in those ways, because then this is a problem for the team to solve that I don't think was truly solved before season 1 came out, and it showed. What happens in between season 2 and season 3 to the token price? If the
because
token
there's nothing.
utility is
Yeah.
pretty restricted to the ability to vote in the show, which is great, I think that should propel the price alone. But unless there's an ecosystem that's fully fledged and functioning, there's a lot of F's. And there's a merch store, there's a way that people can be interactive in, like, a full on ecosystem. And again, for people that are going to be along for the project right now and then are going to sell it up here and then it's going to go back down, they're going to buy it again. Like, I don't know, maybe they view it as, like, the best of both worlds. But personally, I think to bust into the top 100 of crypto projects, we need a bit more consistent utility. That's just, like, there all
Right.
along.
Right. And I think it stems from there just needs that's hard, but there's got to be like consistency where it's like, okay, season 2 comes out and there's voting. And then we have Hello World that's there and ready to go so that it's not like there's not a pause, which like happened last time. Season 1 came out and we had a massive pause and it was like, okay, great. Now what are we
It was
supposed to
now
do?
what? It was a
Yeah.
lot of people saying, like, now what?
And
And
that's why
they
there was a
didn't
sell-off.
know,
Yeah.
right? And they didn't know the utility, what the token's utility wasn't serving any purpose
Which
after the show voting came out, right?
yeah.
So if you're the team, how do you solve for that season 2,
Right.
the season 2
And
blues after season 2 comes out?
first, I'm 100% sure that they've realized this and have had multiple discussions, which is great. So me from like a outside perspective who does a stream every now and then, this is what I would say. But again, I mean, I'm sure the team already has ideas, but my thought is season 2 comes out. I personally probably would not even, again, it depends on the timeline, but I think I wouldn't even release Hello World until after season 2. I would put season 2 out the next couple months here, Hello World to follow that, and then so that you can keep using the tokens there. And then again, I don't know where Crypto Cribs is. I mean, for those of you that are OGs, know that that was something we were like. Why not introduce that as well? But there needs to be that consistent flow of like, okay, now we have season 2, Hello World. To keep that utility moving forward, the merch shop is now live. You can order stuff through there, but then it's like, then season 3 needs to be in there, so it's like you can start voting for people that way with the token again, so that it's a continuous snowball of things that you can be using with the token, right? So that there's not a dead space or dead time with it. That's what I would say.
I'm just gonna. I agree. You're talking. You're picking out the rooms, but you're not talking about the building. And I think you're talking about all the rooms and all the rooms that they can be
Okay.
within the larger thing. But I think the
Tell me.
big thing, it goes back to it. It's like what you were saying about the peeps from the Doge Dash days, right? Doge Dash was simple. It was come into this room here. This is what the game is. This is what the token does. Enjoy. And the room got about as full as it could get until
Mm-hmm.
it was like, hey, we got to add on to this. Otherwise, we can't get any bigger. And
Mm-hmm.
people appreciated like the sign on the outside of the room matched exactly what was on the inside of the room. So
Sure.
people knew what they were getting, they got what they were getting, and they were happy. Community, like the the consistency of the message was there, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
What I think's happening right now, we got a lot of different rooms going on, and we're like, which one has been finished being, renovated, which
Sure.
one is still in renovation, which one. But I think the bigger thing that we want to see isn't when the rooms are completed, it's when the Dave and Buster's building is built. Because again, it has to be the currency of that ecosystem. And even
Yeah.
if a room decides to get renovated, they decide to do away with killer whales after season 4 or 5 or whatever they decide to do, the building is still standing with its own offerings. And I
Yeah.
think that's the thing that needs to be solved so that it's like, oh, great. Everyone that was just in this room, now they have something to come out to and go to a different room.
Yeah.
But they're functioning within that virtual world. I think that needs to be something where they like you essentially have it with a website. It's just not as visually like I think they did a great job with Gala Games because we were talking about it and it showed like the little video clip about the person's avatar like moving through the tube, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
whatever that we showed when we were pulling that up on stream. And I think that's what people need to see a little bit more of is like, hey, we're entering the arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Where inside the arcade we can play games, we can watch clips, we can tune into Hello Spaces, we can do this or that. And I think integrating that into like a user portal where you can enter that sort of a world in a multiplayer hangout kind of aspect. We're touching on all of these things with Discord, Telegram, the
Right.
arcade, the things that are to come. Like, but it needs to be that building and it needs to be shown in a virtual sense that this is what it is, because then when you can start what you can start to do is start to really incorporate exclusivity, and
Yeah.
it means something
Yeah.
like, hey, only those with a chain can access this room,
Mm-hmm.
only those with a crown can access this room, which is showing teasers of what's to come.
Yeah, what you're saying, like that building needs to be built technically, but like you need to create that building, but you need to know what rooms there are. Those, what I'm saying, you
But
know.
they already know what rooms. And so that's the thing. Everyone's wanting to see the roadmap, which it gives a blueprint of what the building looks like.
Right.
Because how do you know more about what a building looks like if you know how many rooms there are in it? But I think until that happens, we're going to lack for a concerted, consistent, focused mission. Because right now people are like, oh, the token utility, like it kind of does this, it does a little bit of this. Well, the burn helps it and
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, but it helps it with what? Like, what is it needs to be the currency of the building so that when we decide to go beyond the building and we add another building and another building, it's consistent. Or when we add another room and another room, it's consistent, just like it was in the Doge Dash days. So that's the credit that I will give to people that are like, I want to return to the simplicity of knowing what's being worked on, knowing what's being given, and like knowing what me buying the token does for me. Like, I just want that to be the case. And again, if you look up like Dave and Buster's, you'll see again exactly what we're talking about. Where, yeah, there's the
Bingo, right
original
here.
roadmap, right? And there was a little bit more like, hey, this is what we have to look forward to in this area. But look up like Dave and Buster's. If you look at Dave and Buster's, and then if you had certain rooms where the door was just locked, you couldn't access the room because it was under construction and there was like a yellow caution tape on it, right? And it's like under current renovation expect, like seeing that when you walk past this with your virtual avatar does way more for people then constantly asking like, hey, where is this at? Is this still happening? Is Crypto Crib still in development? But if you see something like, oh, all the things that are in project or in process, it's got like caution tape expected
I do
like
like that.
next month.
I do I do like the fact that like if you went to the Hello website and you logged in with your wallet, you knew like okay, this is it changes the tabs up here, right? And it's like, oh, they have a 2x or a 3x and it opens it up. I mean, yeah, again, I just don't know
Hey,
where they're at with everything.
I right, and that's the
That's
thing.
the
If
hard thing.
Hello World integrated in with VR, like you had this building we're talking about was Hello HQ.
Mhm.
And you could throw on the goggles and you could walk through their most recent development of and the updated development where they're at with the Hello HQ, so you could walk around and you could see, or you could say, because I signed in with my wallet to Hello World, I can see I can access this room that other people can't access,
Right.
right? I get to go inside it because I have this NFT. I
Right.
think they start doing stuff like that, it ties into the entire mission of what they're trying to do, and it keeps everyone transparently in the know with what they're doing at the same time. So that's
Yeah.
what I think. And again, I want to hear from you guys. Like, what do you guys think like about that kind of a idea? But I think it's really tough to not be transparent when it's a visual component that people get to see. They walk in there and they see this stuff. They see the door that only they have a key card for, right? They have a key card for this, or they have a key card for that, or there's a special room that houses all of like, oh, this is Finstar's room. Like this shows his wallet amount, and it's only something that you access as part of your thing, right? Like here's your high scores.
Mhm.
Here's how many times you've played Doge Dash. Here's how long you've held Hello, right? Like
Right.
something like that that just I think it personalizes it a little bit more for people, and it does if you can do that through striking visuals. Yep, that would be great. So let's get to some comments. We've got Mocha saying, "Thank you for answering my question. That's what I was feeling about right. Also, you nailed it. So awesome stuff there, Bomb, on that. BDE giving us a nice dab there. Appreciate you, BDE. Mocha saying, absolutely, get over the Doge Dash days. So we got someone agreeing with Camp Bomb on that one.
Yep.
So good stuff there. Santi's in the house. What's up, Santi? Good to have you here. Piff saying, okay, I don't know if this will translate properly. Porky Pig launched Looney Tunes, but Bugs Bunny popularized it. Once they got him right, which took some visual and voiceover growing pains to get through. Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? Is like Looney Tunes, you don't have anyone like that's the thing. It's like having that like headquarters of like, oh, you can watch this or you can watch this, and really, if they release the next season and you're able to act like early access, how much cooler is that going to look if it's like a visual thing of you like able to go inside a door and then watch the
Yeah.
video in that kind of a like I think that needs to be done to pull people into that VR experience a little bit more, and you gain all the exclusivity of like whatever you hold, whether it's a token amount, whether it's an NFT, like all that stuff, I think is gonna, and you can see other people would be like the final iteration of everything is if you could actually interact with other people that were inside that lobby, so to speak, at the same time. But I know that would require a whole lot more work than kind of an individual one for everyone. Santi saying, gotten late, but sure you discussed about the ambassador program. Did not actually talk about the ambassador program.
Right
Piff
here.
saying good job, Finn. Hit the nail on the head with that. So do you want to go ahead and read that off?
Yeah.
The text is a little bit small for me.
Yeah, sorry. Killer Whales Ambassador Program. At the event, Hello Labs will be initiating the Killer Whales Ambassadors Program, offering KOLs the chance to become part of the Killer Whales franchise. This exclusive opportunity allows ambassadors to engage with the show, its audience, and also the projects being featured. Work with the whales. Ambassadors will have the unique chance to collaborate with Killer Whales and the projects showcased on the program. This includes helping to promote and sell services, amplifying their reach and influence in the Web3 ecosystem.
So this is again specific to influencers being able to kind of push the show and give it organic marketing, it sounds like, right? And
Yeah.
this is what it's great, and I think there needs to be a tiered system for this. But just because someone again, I want to make this like I want to try to make this as clear as possible. I feel like just because someone's a KOL, just because someone's a judge, does not mean that they have any skin in the game for Hello. And I think that's the issue, that the investors or the community needs to be along for the ride with that, right? They need to be the ones that have an active say as the people that hold it in the judges' scores, KOLs getting nominated for this, like all this stuff. Like, what if the KOLs, as part of like what they were doing, the community could vote on which KOLs they wanted to boost, and that was KOLs, marketing that as a result of that. Like, I think if it's done in that way, where the community is pulled in, then I think that would be a lot stronger. And if you have like an NFT, it boosts your vote. That whole thing drags the community along for that. But we got Santi saying, I'm very curious about this. I brainstormed myself, and the reach of this could be massive. Hidden hints behind this article. Imagine they could be selected to be a whale. Yeah, that's essentially, if they get KOLs that are promoting the show. The thing that, again, I want to make sure we don't stray too far from just creating the marketing or the hype cycle, but not really having anything beyond that.
Right.
And I think when you have KOLs and all these, and they're like, hey, check out me on this show. Great. After the show comes out, what is keeping that token utility afloat? Like, yes, it's a great pump cycle. And if that's what people really like want to experience, that, like, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just thinking about the person that purchased the price of Hello based on where it was near the all-time high, because they were looking for like the next thing. And I think Hello, if they do this stuff right, we could be in the billions of market cap. Like, that's really where I believe that Hello can and should be. And so I want things to be set up for that, not just for, hey, let's return to 100 or 200 or 300 million-dollar market cap.
Right.
I think we have all the right pieces to go beyond that. And I think really the core focus needs to be on the Hello community and getting them involved in every step of the process. Because again, is it cool to show a KOL hanging out in the lobby as it's being filmed and they've got 60,000 followers? Yeah, but the KOL is there for themselves, right? Let's not mince words here. The KOL is there for themselves, just like probably a lot of these judges are there for themselves and their own brand. The
Right.
community is there for Hello's token price going up. That is how we differ, right? So
Right.
we got to be aware of those motivations when we're like, oh man, I'm so excited about like this KOL is going to try to get on the show and do this, and they're going to be pumping Hello. And it's like, yes, but to quote the Swan Princess, what else, right? What else is there? If anyone's seen that movie, right? Like, what follows behind that is going to get people excited about not just investing in a project that could be a trade coin, like we were just talking about, right? Something that pumps when they have their show or they debut a new judge or something like that. But beyond that is going to hold value for its holders. That's what we want to like get that built in. And I think the virtual Dave and Buster's, where it's like you got this massive theater room for killer whales when it like opens up on a season 2, and it's like, oh, you can go in there and you can watch it early.
Right.
Like, those kinds of things are where you pull the community along with the value. And again, the two things that I think they did really well in season 1, but they missed out on these two things, were the token utility didn't hold any value truly beyond the first season once that was released, and number 2 is the dialogue stopped with the community how it was, and it started up with the judges and like, hey, you can listen to us talking on like X or whatever, but the community wasn't really pulled along for that ride. And I think I want to see that solved for, right? Because
Yep.
there's loads of ways that we're given here that like this can be solved as community members. We know the Hello team is listening to like all the community. So again, we're always going to be vocal about those things that like there are opportunities for improvement because we know Hello has done such a great job to get to the point that we're at right now. So it's like now we're like really invested in like how can we go from here to this future that we know is possible based on the lessons that we learned along the way to get to here. So that's the reason that like we want to be clear like even though when we talk about these opportunities for improvement sometimes it can be like, oh, well, Hello doesn't have this, like is it really a good project? And it's like, oh my gosh, like this project is crazy good for where it's at market cap wise, where it's at right now. These are just ways that we're seeing for it to be a 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion dollar project. I think having these things in place would help get there. Anyway, I don't know if that was clear, but Bomb, do you want to maybe translate?
No, I think it's good. I think it's hard though because it technically is so small still. It genuinely still is. So it's hard in my mind as a business standpoint to be able to have the resources to build that out. That's the biggest thing that like concerns me because the token, yeah, it's great. It's not at a super high price necessarily, which means that like to build out a whole VR world and space, I feel like might that those resources needed for that might be a little difficult to allocate in order to get that all
Mm-hmm.
going. Which like yeah, down the line it'd be great, but like put it in the roadmap then, you know?
Yeah, and that's a great point. Is like that's where we need to be honest with where we're at, and we need to be as transparent as possible for where we're at on the road right now. And
Right.
I think just a roadmap, like you showed that little Doge Dash one, where it was like a timeline, right? And it wasn't the artistic, revolutionary,
Right.
creative thing, but it just gave people an indication of here's what you're investing in because here's what you have to look
And
forward to.
this is what we want to do. And yeah, it might like there might need to be tweaks of like, hey guys, we didn't meet X amount of goal for hitting this, and this isn't something that the community thinks that we should focus on, so we're not going to, and we're going to go this direction
Hmm.
right now. So yeah, I think that that stuff's important because it's hard because you look at it now and it's like, okay, so I'm invested in this token. I've been invested in it a long time, but I'm invested in it right now. What's coming in these next 3 months? We have absolutely no idea. Absolutely none. Like zero. And like again, I love the team, love what they're doing. I think they're great. But at what point is it like okay, well, other projects are telling me what I'm going to supposed to be getting. Yeah, I know Hello has been delivering, but at the same time it's like, okay, well, what do I have to look forward to this like next 3 months? I don't have like
And the
I
crazy
don't
thing
know.
is, no, and that's the crazy thing is like we were just talking about how crazy the amount of things they've released in the past 1 month alone is.
Mhm.
Like they've released a ton in the
Right.
past month,
Right.
a ton. But it's like what to your point, it's like where does that cross over into now what you've released? This is going to sound crazy, but it's kind of how people think about crypto because it moves so quickly.
Right.
Everything you've released to now to some degree has no impact on the future price. It has little
Right.
to no impact because people's speculation is all future based.
Let me put it this
So
way. Oh no, finish. I thought you were done. Finish. Go ahead.
no, yeah, but that's kind of what I was saying is that like unless what they've released and built just recently and released in the past is going to help stimulate growth in the future, it doesn't serve that future it serves a minor future purpose if it brings in people like, oh, Hello Space is awesome, now we're going to have more and more Hello Spaces, that's going to be something to look forward to. But like that's also not something that people are aware of yet. They're not saying like, hey, we just launched Hello Spaces. It's going to be something where we plan on having 8 episodes in Q4 or 10 episodes or 10 Hello Spaces, and we might add on more if it's successful. Like those
Right.
kinds of things are things that you kind of you're catching a double-edged sword there, where on
100%.
one hand you don't want the hype,
Here's
but on the other hand you want enough to look forward to merit investment for the future.
right. And real quick, I'll get the questions. Finn, please share this with the team. These ideas are good and not crazy. Piff says it
You got
seems
it,
to me
son.
that the
We will.
first trailer gave us a DMB glimpse in it. What is DMB, Finn?
A Dave and Buster's.
I love it.
probably.
Perfect. And then I think they drop Hello World to keep people stuck. What do you think? Then they just dropped the ball and found something else that could be better / easier to get done. Could be. I still think they want to get it going. I think it'd be neat. But how all these come together is important. Exactly. Definitely the Quantum Age. BDE says, I love Doge Dash. We need TV commercials and the rewards it has. I'm still sporting my Doge Dash swag. People ask me, what is Doge Dash? 100%. Can we have the Doge Dash app game take people to the Hello website? Yeah, stuff like that. What? Real quick, I'm going to touch on what Finn said on the whole. Here's the thing. When season 1 came out, or Killer Whales, or their big announcement, they realized they shouldn't be doing that, and that like they can't do some big announcement, announce it, and then the price tanks. Like, that's what happened in the past due to the way things led up. And it was like, hey, we've got this huge announcement that we're going to completely restart the token. And it was like, that's not really what I see as like a huge announcement. Like, you know what I mean? But with that, they have now gone cold turkey and saying we're not going to announce anything really beforehand and just leave it at that. Why? First of all,
that's a good point.
But the next thing is, let's just take, for example, right now, the update that just came out, Hello News, about this the Bing Bong update or whatever, saying that there's Hello ambassadors. Why is that not on like a roadmap saying, hey, Hello ambassadors to come Q4? And it's like, oh my gosh, what's Hello ambassadors? Like, what does that mean? Like, what is that? Why is that there? Like, what does that do? Rather than, this is something that dropped that it's like, we have no, I just don't get, like, I don't get it. And for some points, it makes sense to not announce things, which I understand. But for stuff like this, I'm like, okay, well, we
If
need.
you want KOL sign up, and like you're not seeing that unless you're reading like the finer points of the article.
Right. We need a graph, or not a graph, but a level of, okay, what information can we tell that's not going to be like, oh, if they find this out early, it's going to tank the price, or like if they look forward to this and then they see it, it's going to tank. Like, no, we need stuff as a community that can be like, hey, did you see like that they're going to be doing stuff with like Hello ambassadors? What do you think that means? Like, what is this? Like, how can we become one of them? Can we? Like, we need stuff to talk about as a community, and we just, like, we get on here and it's great. They've had updates and we review the updates, but there's nothing that's like, oh, what can we see that's happening in the next 3 months?
Yeah, we can speculate, and it's fun to
Right.
speculate sometimes, but you can also speculate when there is a roadmap of what the things could even lead to that are on the roadmap.
Right.
And to your point, I think there's a little bit of what you might call trauma. There's a little bit of emotional
Yeah.
trauma because of what happened when they announced Hello, or
Right.
the season 1 came out, and then what happened to the price after that. But I don't think it was the announcement itself that led to it. I think it was the lack of clarity following the announcement on what these things meant.
Sure.
And I think that's true of the Hello project. Like when they were like, we're rebranding to Hello Labs, it was like, so does this mean the other project is dead? Does
Right.
it mean like there was a lack of a follow up there, just like
Which
there
then
was a lack of a
everyone's,
follow-up-
yeah.
There's lack of a follow up utility to the Hello token when the first season came out. So I don't think it's the thing itself that happened, because obviously the price went up with both of those kind of, pre-announcement. Everyone was kind of excited about it, but in crypto, people don't just look ahead to like what has happened. They're always looking to what's next. What is coming? What is the next product? What is the next thing? And like to your point, I think people just want to see what is the next thing that's coming, right? Or what are some things that are coming that we can tell people about? Because
yeah, we've talked about this before. Have a roadmap with 3 things that you can see and 3 things that are blurred, and it's like, oh, we don't know, but we know three things that we can look forward to, and that's planned for Q4. And like that's
I think
yeah.
I think that an easy litmus test for this is if someone asked you why they should get Hello, what would you say other than the current market cap and what they've done in the past? That's kind of all you're like. You don't Hello World. What is it? Does anybody like season 2? When's it coming out? Like right? Like that's a tough thing. Like for me, because I've noticed for me, I'm talking an awful lot about like, hey, this is what Hello did, and this is what Hello has done. This is what they've built. This is what they've created, and it's awesome stuff. And here's where the market cap is at right now. Like, if you're not seeing an opportunity here, like I don't know what to tell you. Like this is
Exactly.
Speak for itself, right? That's what I'm able to say right now. But I would love what Bomb is saying there because they're doing all these things. They just released all these things this past month.
100%.
They've clearly got things in queue that I think it would be really helpful to just loop the community in on like, hey, this is what you guys can start talking to other people about or sharing. Like these are things that are going to be coming out soon because once they just release it and it's like and it's like an event that they went to or something like that, it's kind of like in the past.
Right.
You know? And it's like there's nothing that we can say, oh, yeah, like
the Hello Arcade.
Cool.
Like
right.
Set that up. Like why not put that in? Like I love it. Updates were fantastic. Why not give us a month to get prepped for it? Like, you know, like why not just post it like, hey, keep in mind, like maybe like a video, something, or like a cryptic message where it's like, yeah, we've been seeing that the arcade has been getting a little retro. Time to do some upgrades on it. You know, might look out for things coming in the next week or two. And it's like, bro, did you hear? Like, I got to start playing again. Like, I got to get prepared for this.
Or like Hello Arcade, like updates coming this week or something like that, right? Where it's like, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So I think we agree on certain things, right? We agree on like the Doge Dash days of like clarity and communication and like roadmaps, things to look forward to. Token utility being a 1-for-1 with like, hey, I know why I'm buying it and for what I'm buying it for. The roadmap, getting that roadmap to where it's like, doesn't have to have everything there. It doesn't. It just has to have some things. Or a separate roadmap for those that hold an NFT or something there where blurred items become clear. Like, it's stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have an NFT, like you've got 2 items that are blurred and others that are locked for now.
If
you sign in with your wallet, the blurred items become visible to those that have an NFT. Like it's simple stuff like that like getting that exclusivity. Yeah, it's golden. But
again, all this being said, I love the team, love the community. Like, it doesn't mean I'm selling anything. I'm probably gonna buy some more. Not financial advice, but like genuinely, we just love it, and we have this time to come together because we want to see it do really well. And so Finn and I and the community with you guys just come up with ideas and things that we see could possibly help out. With all that being said, yeah, no. I think the team has been doing a fantastic job. It's always like from where we were 3 months ago, I think we've seen a massive step forward, 100%. The way that the engagement is, the updates they've been having, like, dude, 100%, it is fantastic and way better than it was before. And I'm stoked about it. We're just like, oh, dude, what if we did it this way, though? Or, like, what if we did it this way? We could see that there'd be more growth or it'd be more interesting, or we'd be able to go to our friends or family and be like, hey, check this out. This is what they're probably going to be doing in the next 3 months. So you might want to invest because it's really low market cap. But we already know, because we've been a part of it, that, oh, they're going to come out with some solid stuff, but I can't do it on a trust me, bro sales pitch. I'm not that good of a salesperson yet. I'm sorry, but like that's where like you can't sell on a trust me, bro. Like you just can't.
That's a great point, and I think that's where we're at. Like we just said, if people ask, "Oh, they're coming out with Hello World. What is that thing?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, or are they still coming out with Crypto Cribs? Like, people just don't know. They haven't gotten the updates on these things, so they don't know if something is still in development, foregone completely, when it's going to come out, if it's going to come out in the next year.
Yeah.
Like, I think all those things would be really, really good updates. So
I love
anyway,
it.
they do have a lot of cool information. If you guys want to check out the articles, there's a lot of things that you can kind of go in and check out. And I think definitely get active in the Telegram, the Discord, and on X, because we know the team sees this stuff that we're saying. They listen to what the community is saying and they factor it into what they're doing. So make sure you're being vocal about those things. I mean, there's a way. Excuse me. There's definitely a way to be vocal where it's clearly perceived as constructive, and there are ways to be vocal where it's clearly not constructive. And people typically do this with crypto. And I think it was Crypto Archie that said something recently about the CAS community, which I really agreed with. He said people are often, I don't think he said this part, but this is how I interpreted it.
Okay.
People are often 100% for something until they're not 100% for something.
Yep.
And it's like, guys, we don't want to do that as a community. Like, we don't want to be, oh yeah, you should buy Hello, and then like 5 days later go, oh yeah, I never really believed any of the stuff that I said, like this community or this sucks. And it's like, well, you weren't all or nothing. Like, if you had some like true, maybe not even concerns, but maybe you just wanted to see some areas for improvement, why didn't you say anything?
Right.
And Bomb and I are always going to do what we can to be as transparent with you guys as possible about this is what we're doing personally. Like, if we're taking profits, like, you guys saw it. We let you guys know, like, hey, I would take profits right now, and here's why. Like, please take profits if you've been along for the ride. Might not make us very popular saying that in the community that wants to see it like, no, only to the moon. But like, we want to be transparent with you guys about like where we're at with our own journey as well. So when it comes to being positive, be positive. But when it comes to being constructive, also be constructive. And don't worry about like, oh, am I just going to be booted for FUD or anything like that? Because this is where like, we want the community, we want the project to improve. And if you voice something and it hasn't happened, at least you've tried to help not only your investment, but the community and the project as a whole. And so Bomb and I are always going to do whatever we can because we believe in this project. We've been a part of this project for years, and we know the team, we know they're great at what they do, and we know what's possible. So even more so for us than someone that's just come along, that's learning about the project for the first time, we know what is possible. And so we're always going to try to improve whatever we can when we're saying, hey, have you thought about this? We're not going to be the ones to have to develop it, right? Like we don't have that in our repertoire. Sorry. But as community members, these are things that we want to see, because I feel like the first time around, I feel like maybe we could have been a little bit more vocal. I think we were pretty vocal, but I think we could have been a little bit more vocal about, hey, if you do this, this is how everyone in the community is going to respond.
Yep.
And we kind of did that a little bit, but I think it was a little late in the game for certain things to be changed that had already been put into process. But again, to your point, with a roadmap, it helps us know what's in process so we can say, hey, this would be our feedback. If you did this, it probably should be done like this. Otherwise, the community might not respond as favorably as if it was done this way. If it has that roadmap in place, we can have a little bit more of a feedback loop there rather than, hey, this is released. It kind of is what it is, and we can make updates, but we don't have that same kind of feedback loop.
Right.
Let's get to a couple of comments here. We've got Santi saying this stream must be watched by the team. So many ideas that need to be shared with them. We will Bomb's putting together a little bit of a list for updates for October right there for us. Piff saying, good point, Finn. Hey, Bomb, who runs the affiliate department? We also got a question from Freddie Bear saying, is Bomb here for himself or for us too? Which is a question I think I have for you as well.
Guys, I'm here for you first and foremost. That just needs to be stated. For myself, I clearly am not. Otherwise, I'd be winning in Doge Dash, and I'm not. And I'm just providing to the pool of funds. So yeah, I'm all here for you guys. Really, that's really what it is. Yep,
That's fair.
yep. That's about it from me. Who runs the affiliate
Okay.
department? What is that referencing? Affiliate?
I think that's the ambassador.
Oh, the ambassador. Oh, who runs that? Yeah. It looked like it was. It looks like Sander because he's been meeting with them. I'm not entirely sure, but according to the previous news article on this one, it said if you're interested, contact the team, and then it listed Sander at the bottom here, and then to go to the website.
Copy
So
that.
yeah.
Which, by the way, kudos to Sander.
Right?
He's
Again.
he's been everywhere. The guy
Yeah.
has been all over the place, and he's been attending all these events. He's been doing all this stuff. Like he has done a great job of reassuming the mantle.
Right.
And like it's been awesome to see that. So awesome job, Sander. Awesome job, Nathan and Kevin and all those.
It's been a
team
solid.
members in the Telegram. Yeah, they've been doing a really good job, and I think kind of coupling in a roadmap now will kind of lead to a lot of community interaction. Which, to Bomb's point, that talking point is kind of more in the past, and people want to talk about what's coming.
Yeah.
People don't want to talk about what yeah, did you see that article? Yeah, I read it. Like, yep, it happened. But it's like, when we can talk a little bit more about like, hey, Hello World is coming out in 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, what is that going to look like? Are you going to hop on at the same time? Are we going to stream?
Right.
Are we going to talk about it when we get on stream? It's a little bit less retroactive when we're doing it that way. So Piff is chuckling at what you had to say there, Bomb. So
yep.
There you go. Well, we've been on for about an hour and 40 something minutes now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to close us out in some words of wisdom, and we can wish the Hello community on their way. But I think all together, excited about what's. Whoa! What are you doing? Oh, you're making me small.
No, they don't see this. You can't talk about this. They don't see this.
Oh,
they only see
that.
this. They only see
sorry,
that.
you guys don't see what's happening. Sorry, nothing's happening. Nothing's going on.
Nothing's going on yet.
But before we do words of wisdom, just want to end with really definitely a hello holder, and like it's going up from here. Like this is a price that we've seen before, and we've left this in the dust before. So Bob and I, the reason that we get on here and we do these opportunities for improvement as well as talk about the cool things that have happened is we know the potential, and we know what's really possible from this team as well as from the community, and just the token price, right? It's one thing if you're like, oh, we could possibly get there, but half the distance to the goal, we've been there. So we know we're capable of that as well. But I'll transfer over to you. We could use some words of wisdom, Bomb.
All right, here we go. Let's get this transition going over here. Bingo. My hair doesn't look that great, but we're just going to go with it. All right, everybody. I think this is a great words of wisdom. It kind of ties into, maybe being a little bit patient, but also knowing good things are out there. Here we go. The early bird might get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. There you have it.
True. That's true. And when was the last time you wanted to eat a worm anyway, right?
There you have it, Finn. There you have it.
Yeah, I want cheese, please, not a worm.
Exactly.
There you go. I like it. Thank you, Bomb, for that. We got BD saying crypto communities love news. The Hello team can go on YouTube channels. Paul used to do TikTok videos talking about what's going on. More YouTube, X, and TikTok, etc. videos. Yeah, I think kind of that interactivity. And hey, if you ever need 2 people to hop on and do some stuff or interview other communities, I think there might be some people for that. Maybe.
True.
Maybe.
True.
Piff saying another great live. Be safe, everyone. We appreciate you guys hanging out. It's always good to hang out with the community, talk some updates from Hello, and also speculate about what's coming. So we're excited for the future. We would love to share these ideas with the team as well, which we're going to do. So if you have anything else that you want us to share, to add to the list to pass along, be sure to drop that into the chat, and we will do that. BD always liking the close-ups of Bomb there, because who
Yep.
doesn't?
Sure.
Who doesn't like it when it's nice and close and you can see all those important pores?
I can give you a list of people, but that's beside the point.
Basically, everybody else. But no, we appreciate you guys. Feel free to drop it into the chat. And Bob, we have you on the thing. You said you created a Twitter page. I gave you my username. We need you to reach out to me, please. I'm like, at this point, I want to give you these tokens more than anyone's ever wanted to receive them.
Oh, Bob's
So,
in Discord.
please. He is?
Yes. Or was in Discord.
He's in Discord?
Yes. Not.
Did he message you in Discord?
He messaged our.
I'm so happy I brought it up then.
Bingo.
So, awesome. I will. Bob, when was that? Was that like yesterday?
I don't know, but Bob should message you, so I will. Bob will know. You know.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find this. It was in the general chat?
No, it's in the verify. He just said verify. The verified.
Oh, so he just signed up for it.
Yeah, it was yesterday. So.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I like checked that. It was either yesterday or the day before, and I
Yeah,
had nothing.
Just
But
did yesterday.
okay, cool. Congrats, Bob. We'll get you your stuff. Yes, finally.
Perfect.
Bob's victory is gonna go rewarded. BD's saying have Paul on Finn and Bomb interviewing Paul on your live stream. That is a great idea. I
Love it.
currently have a message out, so I will keep you guys updated on that one there. And BD, we appreciate that. But I gotta say, the Hello community has loads of pillars. It isn't just Bomb and I. We've got people like you, people like Hassan, people like Piff, people like Hans, people like these people have been with the community for years and years and years and are still talking about it, plugged into the community, sharing things. Like there's loads of pillars that make up the community. So I think when those community members are sharing things where they like compile a list and they submit it, it's not something where they're just kind of flippantly thinking about things. Like they're part of the community, right? They've literally got skin in the game that they're trying to make something better for. So we appreciate you guys. You guys are honestly, you guys are the reason that we do this too. Because it's like we like to meet up and talk and share with people that are really in the same boat that we're in. We're invested in Hello. We want to see Hello go up. We know it will. We know it can. We know the team is going to do, you know, what the team does, which is constantly build, constantly create and release things. And that's the only reason we hop on and say, hey, these are things that we could recommend that they do even better to make the project even better than it currently is. So excited for everything in the future. We'll let you guys go and have a great rest of your weekend. But anything you want to send us on our way with other than the second mouse there and the cheese?
Other than that, not really. I think that's just great. And I'm just going to, you know, there's I can't wait for Podchain and Burb to get on Killer Whales Season 2, I believe, right? I think they're one of the two.
Yeah.
So excited for that.
Podchain and Burb. So yeah, play your cards accordingly, I would say.
I still need to.
You need to play your cards accordingly.
I still need to get my cards ready. One of them's ready, but I need to get working on the other deck of cards over there. So yeah, just quick note on that, you know? Just great stuff. But excited for, again, that could be coming out any time. We don't know, but you might want to be ready. So I'm telling
100%.
myself this, really.
Well, you guys have a great weekend. We'll let Bomb go back to the mirror to give himself advice there. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Alrighty. See you guys.